The first leg of my flight was direct from Miami to Zurich, and unfortunately I did not have an aisle seat, but I did get up a few times to stretch, and somehow I survived. I spent one night in Berlin in this tiny room, and the next day I caught a train to Poland. I was struck to find that in the main train station, if you wanted to get out of the cold or even just sit down, you had no alternative but to go into a private restaurant or cafe to order a pricey coffee or snack. Fortunately, I had reserved a seat on the train well in advance because, as you can see, it looked like it was full.
Tu fertig.
It's okay.
It's my tea.
Well, I've just arrived at the Tomoova apartments in Poznan near the train station and going to enter the room. Wow, it is huge, ultra clean, ultra modern. Very interesting. This is in a high-rise building. It's very quiet here. It's a beautiful sunny day outside, and I can use a nice place like this. It's a nice room. Well, it ought to be at $75 a night. I mean, this is Poland after all. All right. So on this crisp and sunny late afternoon, I am wandering out of my hotel in Poznan, where I arrived today to spend an hour or two seeing the neighborhood. Behind me is the statue of Poland's greatest romantic poet, Adam Mickiewicz. Well, let's hear how that's actually pronounced.
Adam Mickiewicz.
There you go. I don't know any Polish, so I can't translate that. Okay, it says for freedom, justice, and bread, June 1956, and it is mounted on a statue of an eagle, which is being guarded by these two crosses. The crosses symbolize death and resurrection. On the left is the number 1956, the year of a large uprising against the communist regime. And the cross on the right has the dates of other uprisings against the communist regime. This monument was erected in 1981, the 25th year anniversary of the 1956 uprising. And over there, that building says Poznan Philharmonica. So let's see what that is. Well, that building turned out not to be the Philharmonic. And this building, which houses this museum of the uprising of 1956, actually made me realize that I had tried to get into this museum about 3 years ago when I was visiting the city. And this must be the Teatro Winkel, the opera house of Poznan. Maybe I can go in there. Well, they won't let me inside, only this lobby, and apparently a performance of Don Quixote is in progress, so I cannot go in. Well, I'm walking and the sun's going down, and I'm trying to find this old synagogue on the map. That must be a remnant of the old city wall. Well, I finally found it, and you know something? It's coming back to me. I was here in Poznan, was it a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago? And it's coming back to me. I've already seen this place from the outside, and I remember I probably videotaped it with the same fence and the doors locked up. So it's coming back to me. Interesting to go back to a city that I have already visited, but had started to fade in my memory. All right, back into the hotel room for dinner. It's courtesy of the local babka. Actually, it's Zabka, the ubiquitous convenience stores that seem to be on just about every block. And notice the wooden spoon, a most valuable item which I've learned to bring with me in my travels. I believe this building is part of the university, and that banner above the doors is proclaiming graduation 2025. At first I thought it was the Philharmonic. It was just explained to me that apparently it's not the Philharmonic. I don't know why it was labeled incorrectly on the map, and that in fact it's the university behind me having their graduation ceremonies. Well, I'm going to try now to see if I can go inside the Opera House, which I could not do yesterday. And there should not be a performance going on in the morning. So let's give it a shot. Doors are locked. Guess it's too early in the morning for the Opera House. Well, I'm going to investigate this so-called old brewery. Well, there was an old brewery here, but it was converted into a shopping mall in the early 2000s. This place claims to be the second largest shopping mall in Europe. There was a Wendy's there, and I did have a chicken filet burger, which was utterly horrible. This basilica was built by the Jesuits in the late 17th century and is one of the most valuable Baroque monuments in Poland. You can see how rich the interior is. Lining the nave are 16 monumental Corinthian columns made of artificial marble. The church is located only 350 meters from the old town square. And yes, there's a Zabka there on the right.
Dzień dobry.
Dziękujemy bardzo.
The old market square is the third largest in Poland after Krakow and Wrocław. And I was actually here almost 3 years ago, and it's bringing back nice memories. The fountain sports a statue of Orpheus, the mythical musician. The square dates back to the 1200s and was originally a commercial place with a town hall and market stalls. This lasted until after World War II. It then transitioned into a residential area with many cultural institutions, and then later it became a spot where fashionable bars and restaurants and cafes opened up.
We hold the keys to destiny. No more lies, just honesty. In our hands, the future gleams. Let the dream, it seems. We're the voices rising high.
Także jak widzicie, warto brać udział. Każdy może wygrać. Jest to zmianie godziny. Kategory. Blisko 100 wygrane i 1 przegrana.
The town hall is a beautiful Renaissance-style 16th century building. In the tower, every day at noon, 2 mechanical billy goats butt heads 12 times. Actually, almost all the buildings in this area were destroyed and rebuilt many times, but finally rebuilt to the original design after the war. This picturesque row of so-called merchants' houses is one of the most Instagrammable and photographed sites in Poznan. In the Middle Ages, there were wooden stalls here for poor merchants to sell salted herring, salt, torches. Around the corner here and down the street, I just wanted to indulge a nostalgic memory of where I had stayed at an Airbnb here almost 3 years ago.
Tyle było tak, że człowiek bardzo chce. Tyle było tak, że się nie powie nie. Tyle było tak, sam jeszcze nie wiem jak, że chcę się bardzo śmiać, po prostu tak. Tyle były sny zielone, złote dni. Tyle była ta, o której mówię.
Speaking of billy goats. Okay, time to head to the Basilica for the guided tour.
We will be sightseeing, let's say, for about 2 hours. I will show you Old Market and let's say the older quarters of the city. Okay, maybe I will ask you, this is your first time in Poland? Yeah, so...
First time in Poznan.
First time in Poznan.
Yeah, okay. Not in Poland, but in Poznan, yeah? Okay, so on the city, on the tower of the city hall, yeah? They just came through to the little... It was a great feast. The main dish was
I didn't know it yet, but I learned the next day that these two guys, John and David, were to be my roommates.
Second World War, yes, there was much, much quarrel, yeah. But before there was a.
So I finally made it at this hour of 8 o'clock in the morning to this spot where we're all going to meet and take the bus to the venue. After a bus ride of about 3 hours, we arrived at the venue for the Angloville program, the Ryman Palace, which is a renovated and expanded palace that dates back to 1751. Okay, we've just arrived at this so-called palace, and with 4 beds in it, and 3 people sharing this suite. And one of them is this gentleman, David. And where did you say you're from again?
I am from Cornwall.
For Cornwall. That's fascinating. And
I'm John, and I've travelled here all the way from Birmingham in the centre of United Kingdom.
okay, and I'm from Florida, by the way.
If aliens came to planet Earth right now, what is the best thing you could show the aliens? So I am an alien.
Harry, Jack, Luke.
They might not even hear things properly.
So, are you married?
So this is the room that I'm sharing with 2 other guys. And there's one room, and those 2 guys are on these 2 beds. And the other room, unfortunately, I ended up with this room to myself, although that armoire is being used by them. So I'm using the second half of the bed for my suitcase stuff. And we share this bathroom here. All right.
Kołobrzeg.
That evening, several of the Polish students volunteered to drive a group of us to see the close by Baltic Sea resort of Kołobrzeg. This town is one of the most popular and famous resorts on the Baltic Sea in Poland, and in the summer months is flooded with Germans taking advantage of the lower prices in Poland. When it gets you guys too.
The Oksana was the one who she did.
Right to me and to us. The traditional one is over.
Prost.
I love all Polish women.
We're big drunk, so sorry.
Oksana, why are you over there and not over here? Why are you over there and not over here? I'm waiting for you to come.
Steve, repeat, say.
What am I repeating?
Krzysztof, dajesz.
Nie nagrywam.
It's very good. Oh, you got the fish. The meat's good. I asked for fish and she said no, but the meat's good. I'm okay with that.
Do worry that we might come misunderstand. British passport just magically protected. I think that might be wearing it.
Can you pass me the water, please? Yes. Thank you.
Steve.
Good.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. You're more than welcome. Thank you very much. Each picture is 2720. Thank you. You're
Yes!
explain it, but then you're welcome to just go off and do it. And later on we'll get a picture with both of you.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Marcin. I am from Poland, from Szczecin city, and I am going to Szczecin with Harvey from the school Angloville when I improved my English language. Harvey is very good teacher for me, and it was very nice times, few days, and I think it's all. I hope that you will happy and on the future.
Well, great. I hope you had a good time and learned something too.
Yeah.
And so, later that afternoon, I arrived in Szczecin, where I spent the next 2 nights. But that is the subject of my following video. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.